Round going. Actually, the next few rounds.
True enough, and so it shall. The next round will be Killer versus Infernoc. So, if you guys want to jump in, we will wait for you. The round is up. Killer versus Infernoc. I'm gonna get you both in there here. Killer. Alright, so, while we wait for our duelists, Nick, what would you have, what were you seeing last round? Was there anything that you saw kind of, I don't know, maybe a weakness, maybe of Drew that maybe they can kind of count on? Because remember, Killer versus Infernox this round. Whoever wins this round will be fighting Drew in the next round.
I think the stall potential of
Shining?
Shining's deck, yeah, sorry,
You're good.
was what lacked a little bit just because it really determined on, I mean, it was really based around that one set of cards that if you don't have it, you don't have it.
Gotcha. I get you exactly what you're saying. And it looked, yeah, I agree, because Drew's deck looked pretty consistent. Killer is ready, Infernox ready. Nick, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, everyone, let's let the second round begin. As we kind of go into here, I kind of like for them to play their first cards before I explain the decks. I have a deck list of everyone as well as a title of their deck. That way we can kind of go into and talk as we wait for the for the amazing rock paper scissors battle to end.
Yes. Super handshake. That was good.
This is great. This is great. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is it? Us playing?
There we go. I know.
That was
hilarious. Go for 18 turns.
I don't know anything about gophers, but I do know that the second round's going to be really funny to watch. All right, so who's starting us off today? Who is starting us off? Oh, well, I already can tell you. Killer is starting us off today. Grave Killer, he has changed his name for, Nick. We all know him well from our stream. He's been here almost as long as our longest person. I think he's tied with Crash. Am I wrong to say that?
I do believe, I think it was the week of or the week after.
I think you're right. But we know Killer as the Gravekeeper deck. Now, I had to, even yesterday, change Killer's deck because he was adjusting it really hard. But I had to get rid of some of his stuff because he took out all the main stuff that I told him, and he replaced it, and it was good, but it was really good still, and I was like, Killer, we're gonna have to really chop this down because I don't think anyone would beat you in this case because his extra cards were so strong. Now I feel they're fair. He's got some good stuff in there. It's really powerful. As where's Gravekeepers are, they're just as powerful as they've been since 2005. Even more so since all the new stuff that's come. But we're about to show here. We also have Enfernoc. What does Enfernoc have, you ask? I like to call it the Warrior Radness deck because of all the decks, Nick, that I went through and said yes and no and this and that, Infernoc's deck was probably the most customized, most down-to-the-T deck I have seen in a very long time. I could tell that he did not copy-paste this deck. He made this from scratch, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with it. Now, it is a Koiki Miru monster, so at the end of his turns, he has to reveal the Iron Core, or a Warrior-type monster, or it dies. Now, with the Warrior type, he probably has some. There is Valkyrie Knight right there. So he is going to keep that 2000 attack monster. But I'm worried because Killer knows his Gravekeepers. That is his expertise type of deck. He's already got 3. He does have his Descendant on the field, which means he can pop anything he wants. He's going to go for the Magic Trap. Oh, which was perfect with the Mirror Force. That was a great idea. He had a choice there because he's got a 2000 attack monster that could crash into his opponent's monster, or he can kill the Magic Trap, hoping that it would be worth it. I think it was a good choice. Nick, I can't remember if you or I had a Warrior deck back in the day.
I honestly think both of us did.
I think so.
Yours was more refined than mine was. Mine was like in the infancy phase while working up, and you had one that was almost perfected.
I did have a lot of time, and to be honest, my dad actually gave me a lot of cards because he played for a while Ooh, he did opt to get rid of his spy, which was a great wall, just to do some damage. Let's see if that pays off. Because if this warrior deck, which we're known for, you know, equip cards and such, goes in and kills this descendant, killers without monsters. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got going now. Back in the chat while we're waiting. Oh, actually, real quick, we have a 2100 attack monster. He says you can summon it without tributing. If he does during the end phase, send it to the graveyard. It's a small price to pay for getting that descendant off the field, Nick. If he had kept that thing on the field, anything he had played would just be popped every second. I mean, it would be dead.
That is true, and it was a very good move on Killer's side.
Yeah, it was a great idea for Killer to destroy those cards, and now Enfernoc has shown him, hey, I'm no pushover either. But as
Actually,
fast as we say that...
I think we're backwards. I think that was Enfernoc.
Oh yeah, Enfernoc totally destroyed Killer. Killer's across from us now. But Killer responds with his 2100 attack, saying, hey, I've got a 2100 as well. What are you going to do? So he's brought now Enfernoc down to 3400 attack, or life points, excuse me. I don't know. It really depends what that warrior hand looks like. I wish we could see both sides. I guess we couldn't stream it if we could, though. So maybe it's good we don't.
Very true.
We're just going to have to call it as fast as everyone else can see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is thinking on this, which is totally fine. Take your time on this. These are the slow duels. These are the ones that really. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He's in your head. He's saying, "Hey, I've got a really powerful monster. What are my choices here? What are we gonna do?" He's gonna opt to set a monster that could be a trap. That could be like a man-eater bug kind of stall, maybe a Grim Reaper or Spirit Reaper, excuse me, type of stall card. It could just be a warrior. He opted for Raigeki. Now, some of you probably are saying, hey, Raigeki, what the hell? These cards were very pickily chosen. I got to see everyone's deck, and some decks would just smash other people's if cards weren't opted in and off for certain people. So not every card was illegal for everyone. That is GG for Killer. So Killer versus Enfernoc. Round 1. That was a very good game. I don't count out Enfernoc, though. I've seen this deck. I know what it's got coming. If Killer doesn't get his field like he did last time immediately out, I think Enfernoc could really just steamroll over him.
And that's very true. Now, he does have, from what I see, Enfernoc could come out swinging with this deck, but Killer might have a turn or two to be able to set up what he needs to set up.
It's true, and if Killer gets that, he got that round 1 Necro Valley too, and that really messes people up because that's 500 attack and defense for each of his Gravekeepers. That's a lot of extra bonus attack and defense. Now, if Killer can't get that turn 1 extra boost, he might be in a pinch, but he's got 6 cards. Oh, and he's gonna opt to Twin Twister. That's good. He got rid of Spy, though. So this is worth it to him, he thinks. What we get? We got a Mirror Force, excuse me, and a Fiendish Chain. Totally worth a Spy. But now look, Killer did not get his Necro Valley. As good as a pick as that was, he couldn't be aggressive. He had no choice. I bet we all can guess what that face-down card is, though. There's only one Gravekeeper that usually people will put face down, unless he's just out of choices. Now, he did just throw Valkyrie Knight. We have a potential Exceed 4, level 8 Synchro. There's a lot of... He could just go in hitting with some warriors. Who knows what's going to happen here?
This is where we cue our Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Get your Jeopardy sounds, everyone. I think he's thinking as much as I was just now. What do I do? Do I want to opt for this? If he goes for Synchro and Exceed, he potentially has a cool effect, but he's down to 1 monster at that point, and Killer could just kill it. No pun intended. So there it is, Gravekeeper Spy, everyone. You probably guessed that. But he did have to flip it. It could have not been that. It could have been, like as we see now, a Recruiter. So we think Valkyrie Knight's going to smash it. Valkyrie Knight's effect is So Killer's not going to be able to target any face-up warrior monsters for attacks except for Valkyrie Knight, who does have 1900, which is really good. So until Necro Valley comes onto the field, he's not going to be able to kill that thing. He can also, with Valkyrie Knight, banish a warrior-type monster and that card from the graveyard to target one level 5 or higher warrior from the graveyard and special summon it. That means if he decides to go for one of his more powerful warriors, in the future, and the warrior dies, he can bring it back. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, where he's got some really potential good firepower. But with that being said, Necro Valley is going to come into play. That almost spells defeat. Anytime Killer throws that out in Necro Valley, you just start praying to your god, because, oh no, here it is. Here's the strategies right there. And just barely he gets over the Valkyrie Knight. And that's like what I was talking about. If he had not had Necro Valley, what are you going to do? You just have to defend and defend and defend. Unfortunately, Necro Valley comes back into play. What are your thoughts going on, Nick?
If Necro Valley had been a turn or two later, then I think Infernoc might have had a chance to build up what he needed to build up. But right now, it just seems it takes a little too long for Infernoc's deck to build up to where it needs to be be able to, I guess, overtake in one or two turns.
Totally agree with you there. It does seem like Infernoc's deck, it really has good potential. It's got these strong, different kind of effect type monsters. It's got some really cool potential, but if he can't get it out, it's really holding him back there. Because all we've seen now is just some really strong monsters. Oh my god, he Heart of the Card drew MST. Necro Valley's dead. Is it? Is Necro Valley dead? What's he doing? We've got some stall time, which means Killer's deciding something. Oh no. He countered it with Magic Drain. If Infernoc has a spell card in here, he's golden. If he has no spell card in his hand, what a... It's just like a roller coaster ride, dude. MST is exactly the card he needed to win this duel. And Killer was totally ready for it. The whole time. Man, that makes me sad.
I know, and it just makes you wonder, what does Infernoc have, if he has anything, to just keep rolling.
Oh, with that, freed the Matchless General. This is a card. It's actually one of the cards that my dad gave me way back in the day. So there we go. What does Infernoc have? He tells us, well, I've got this general here. He's pretty strong. Not only that, he just killed Descendant. That means a couple things, Nick. That means, one, that back row card potentially is nothing to be scared of, and he doesn't need to worry about it. Two, Killer's hand is not too impressive. As we see, he's going into defense mode. He's scared. Now, that could be another Gravekeeper Spy with 2500 defense. That's true. Freed's effect is activating here. Instead of drawing a normal card, he can choose any level 4 or lower monster, warrior type, from his deck and add it to his hand. Oh my god! Guys, this is going to be great. So if he's opting to play the card he just drew... Oh, no. Oh, Nick. It's like a teeter-totter in here.
Oh, it is a teeter-totter.
Isn't it? This is like, these are duels. These are duels. So so what just happened? He drew Command Knight willingly. And what Command Knight does is gives all his warrior-type monsters 400 attack points. It's got another effect, but the important part was it was going to make Freed high enough to start breaking through that wall. Killer had Mind Crush set this whole time, just waiting for the chance. He knew something was going to happen. He knew if he doesn't win the duel, there's going to be a reason. And he's ready for that reason, because if he clears the card name and it's in the opponent's hand, it gets discarded. And so Command Knight was immediately dropped at this time. Now, I do like that Infernoc is taking some time with these duels thinking. He is going to... Oh, I think I see what he's doing here. We're about to see. So, he just killed a Recruiter, but that means with Recruiter dead, he can now add a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less defense from his deck to his hand. Oh, he just decided to go for Assailant. That's good tech. I was thinking we were about to see another Descendant. But with the Assailant tech, when Assailant attacks, Nick, when he attacks, he can change one face-up monster's attack defense position. So when he declares the attack, he's going to change Freed into defense mode. That way he is strong enough to actually go through it. What we see next turn, though, is going to be way more exciting, I think. So let's see here. Switches to the defense mode. Freed, the matchless general, is going to go down, but for how long? A general does not just go down easy. That's it. So right now, Killer's got nothing. He's got his main monsters on the field, and it's what he's hoping on. Now, if he's going to do what I think he's going to do, we might be seeing a second coming of that general. Oh my god, a Raigeki! Nick.
Holy cow.
The second Raigeki. Oh my god. That was it. That was his heart of the card draw, but it did buy some time. He did crash through the wall, all in one swoop. All of it's done. Uh-oh. So he's Pot of Duality, Necro Valley. Ooh, that was not a great pick. Max C, Pot of Duality, and Necro Valley. He's gonna go for the Pot of Duality so he can next turn try to get something else. This is anyone's duel, Nick. The field is
really
as
is.
empty as it is for anyone right now. The only thing that's going for Grave Killer right now is the Necro Valley. If he can get any monster, it's going to be beefy. But Enfernoc, I mean, his cards die. We saw what we see earlier. We saw a Mirror Force, I think, and what is it called? It's not making it easy. There we go. A Fiendish Chain. So we know that he's got some traps to protect him. So this one down here. Oh, who needs protection when we can just summon a monster? Who's he going to go for? Freed, perhaps? Oh, it's like I knew.
You knew.
That's true. No, I do get to cheat here with looking at all the decks beforehand. Oh, but the tech of Necro Valley, of course, everyone. Of course we can't summon anything from the graveyard because Necro Valley prohibits it. Well, I was wrong. Okay. So, now it's Infernoc's turn. Can he draw a monster, any warrior? He can start chipping away Killer's life points. There it is. Blue Flame Swordsman. Nick, have you seen Blue Flame Swordsman? It's been a long time since I've seen
it. It
one.
has been a very long time.
All that's important right now, he's in the lead. Enfernoc is in the lead. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking we've got a chance on Infernoc's side.
I think so.
Oh.
But I can't say too much too soon.
It's true, because as we say that word, it's not over yet. So he's going to opt for the Spy and the Commandant. That means he's going to have one monster that's more powerful than Blue Flame in attack, and one monster that is more powerful in defense. Oh, he's gonna just risk it for the biscuit. He's getting rid of something for that extra 2-card draw. Yep, he said, screw the Spy, I don't need defense. We're just gonna draw some. He's gonna hurt again. It's that Necro Valley, man. If Necro Valley would just disappear, Infernoc's Day would look a little bit chipper.
This is true.
It's Heart of the Cards. Every turn, he's just gotta hope. He's gotta hope he can draw something that can just crash over this. Also, keep in mind our next match. It's coming soon, guys. This could be the last one for this round. Killer could take it 2-0. But don't count on Enfernoc. I've seen this deck. I know what's coming. There's some cool stuff we have not seen yet. Another Pot of Duality. He's going to grab the Heretic. Heretic's pretty good. He is stronger than a lot of the others. Now Necro Valley does stop working on him because of his effect. So, but naturally he's more strong than the others. Oh, we have an effect here. Send one Earth monster from your deck to the graveyard. Now I see what his plan was with this deck. Necro Valley does suck for this situation. Remember that in his graveyard right now, if I can find the name, Oh, very nice. I didn't think about that monster. Uh, Valkyrie Knight, I believe. He could remove from play him and another warrior to summon a level 5 or higher warrior type monster from his graveyard. So he could ditch one of his most powerful monsters and then summon immediately. Because of Necro Valley, that is not the case.
Shining asks if there's going to be a loser's bracket.
In this one, since if all 8 didn't show up, I was planning on having one. But since all 8 did, there will just be the straight bracket. Oh, GG from Enfernoc. GG, everyone. That was a great counter. I did not expect... And also remember, random.org decided the fate of everyone here. That means Killers are round 2 winner. Click, click, boom. All right. Well, congratulations. Nick, let's talk about that real quick. Killer is just so... Gravekeepers by themselves aren't super crazy good. That's why I allowed him to use these necro beings, Gravekeepers. I knew that he knows this deck really well. But importantly, if everyone can see his deck list, it's really not that hard. It just sucked for Enfernoc because a lot of his strategies, like the Call of the Haunted, the Valkyrie Knight, all of it included of ditching a lot of monsters to his graveyard so he could summon them. It just sucked that counter was right there every time. Every time Necro Valley. If he had destroyed that Necro Valley with the MST, it would have been great. It would have been perfect. It would have been... I think it would have been game over at that point. He summoned enough monsters to be powerful enough. What would have Killer done? But that wasn't the case. Killer did win round 2, and the third round is Demois versus Management Man.